Welcome to the vehicle maintenance segment of the RedCat Racing's Pit Stop How-To video series. I'm Matt LeMay, and in this segment, we'll discuss the steps needed to maintain proper performance of your RedCat Racing Nitro vehicle. First, we'll discuss routine maintenance and how to perform a light cleaning for dusty vehicles, as well as performing a deep cleaning for vehicles covered in heavy dirt. So grab your RedCat and let's get started. Screws on your RedCat Racing Nitro vehicle should be checked after each run. If any are neglected and work their way out, it could start a chain reaction of problems. Apply blue medium strength thread lock to those screws nested into metal. It's good practice to check servos for proper operation after every couple runs. Hard landings can damage the gears inside. If you hear any clicking, replace the servo. Also inspect throttle and brake linkages for smooth operation. Conducting a rock and debris check is a good way to ensure a smoothly running drivetrain. Rocks can lodge themselves under center drive shafts as well as other hard-to-reach places. Once you've looked over the vehicle, make sure all moving parts can move freely. Be sure to run all the fuel out of your fuel tank. If you are unable to do this and are left with fuel at the end of the day, well, suck it back out with an easy-to-use fuel filler bottle like the one included with RedCat Racing's optional Nitro Starter Kit. Now, it's best to remove any remaining nitro fuel from inside the vehicle. The fuel used in nitro-powered engines contains nitromethane, which attracts moisture, and if left untreated, the inside of the nitro engine may rust and corrode. We recommend using after-run oil after each day of fun to prevent moisture buildup. Place a few drops into your carburetor and turn the engine over a few times to draw the lubricant into the engine. You can also put a few drops directly into the cylinder by removing the glow plug. Just remember to clean the inside of the head first. Dirt and grime have a tendency to collect around the glow plug. If allowed into the engine, it will act as sandpaper, scratching internal components. Now, a cotton swab works great for this job. As an added precaution, I like to hold the vehicle upside down while removing the glow plug. If there is any dirt left in the head, it will fall away from the glow plug hole, keeping the cylinder clean. While still holding the vehicle upside down, wipe around the empty glow plug hole with a cotton swab to ensure a good seat when the glow plug is installed. Small debris can create a bad seal between the glow washer and the head. Now, this could result in lost compression and bad performance. Now's a good time to check your air filter. Dust and dirt build up on the filter elements, which is a good thing. I mean, after all, this is your only line of defense against that nasty engine-killing grit. But if left unattended, a dirty air filter will cause the engine to run rich, resulting in lost performance. Clean the filter with liquid dish soap and water and let air dry. Once the filter is completely dry, you can re-oil it with air filter pre-treatment oil. Use a plastic bag to saturate the filter element and a paper towel to remove excess oil. You want enough oil to catch the dirt, but not so much as to hinder performance. Be sure to use sticky filter oil for this step. Checking fuel lines for cracks and damage is a good way to rule out unwanted air leaks. Air leaks in fuel lines will cause erratic running characteristics and makes an engine impossible to tune. Keep the shock shafts clean and check shocks for leaks. If the shock looks like it had just started leaking, try tightening the cap while wiping off any spilled oil. Keep an eye on the shock and see if it leaks anymore. If so, check the seals for damage and remove any dirt. If all seals are fine, refill the shock with oil and replace the cap. After normal use, your RedCat Racing Nitro vehicle may need some light cleaning. While running on pavement and grass, dirt and debris can collect in various components of the vehicle. Now, one of the most helpful tools to remove light debris is an air compressor. Now, using an air chuck or an old airbrush like this one, blow off dust and light debris. If you don't have access to an air compressor, you can use canned air or a few different brushes to get your RedCat Racing Nitro vehicle clean. An ordinary cleaning brush, like this one found in the cleaning aisle of many stores, works great on the chassis and other large surfaces. An old dish brush is also great for cleaning hard-to-reach areas. Now, for those small, difficult-to-reach areas, try an old toothbrush, cotton swab, and toothpicks. Go over the entire vehicle using these dry brushes, ensuring all moving parts move freely without binding. A small amount of rubbing alcohol, nitro cleaner, or simple green on a paper towel or cotton swab will help remove oil residue from the exhaust. Do not rinse off the vehicle, as there are many things that need to be addressed before using water or other liquid in cleaning your RedCat Racing Nitro vehicle. Now, we'll discuss these next steps in the deep cleaning segment. If light cleaning won't get your RedCat Racing Nitro vehicle clean, then a deep clean is in order. First, remove all electronics, engine, and fuel system. Now keep in mind, the gearboxes and bearings will need to be addressed while deep cleaning. So be prepared to invest a few hours in this process. Now it may seem like a long time, but it is well worth it in the end. Setting up a cleaning station only requires a plastic bin, some assorted brushes, simple green, and a garden hose. It should go without saying that this is best done outside. I like to start with the tires. Remove all 4 tires from the vehicle and spray with simple green. Use an ordinary cleaning brush to scrub the tires clean and rinse off the dirt. Squeeze out any amount of water that may have entered the tire. Now, this should be little, if any. The most important thing to remember when washing tires is not to submerge them. The air holes in the rims allow water to enter, saturating the foams, which causes lost performance. A mildew smell can also develop. If this happens, rinse out the stale water and drill small holes in the surface of the tire. Do not cut holes. You must drill or punch them. See, the tire may tear if the hole isn't round. Squeeze out any excess water and run the vehicle after mounting the tires. Centrifugal force will throw the water from the holes. Now, I don't recommend drilling tires unless absolutely necessary. The small holes in the tires could snag on rocks or other obstacles, tearing the tire. This method is mostly used on race-only vehicles, where the vehicle is only driven on groomed tracks. Now, simple green also works great for cleaning the chassis. Remove all electronics, engine, and fuel system from the chassis before you begin. Wet the cleaning brush and begin scrubbing the chassis. Use simple green to remove oily residue. The dish brush is great for removing dirt from shock towers and other large 3-dimensional areas. The toothbrush works great under the drive shafts and around most tight areas. In some areas, the cotton swab and toothpick may be necessary. Spray the vehicle off and check for any forgotten areas. Respray with simple green and continue scrubbing until all is clean. Now, after the final rinse, dry the chassis with a towel or compressed air. Soak all metal hardware on the chassis with WD-40 to displace water and prevent rusting. Be careful not to get any WD-40 on the brake assembly or clutch. Now, although WD-40 is not a great long-term lubricant, it does contain silicone oil, which will cause slippage, resulting in poor performance and eventually complete clutch and brake failure. Allowing the clutch to slip could also result in engine damage. As spoken of earlier, ball bearings will need to be cleaned and re-oiled. Start by removing the bearing and spraying it with WD-40. Spinning the bearing while spraying will help flush out any dirt and water. WD-40 was designed to be a water displacer, hence the name WD, Water Displacement 40. Now, while it works good for loosening debris and displacing water, it doesn't do an adequate job of protecting bearings. For this, you'll need a high-speed bearing oil, like the one made by Lucas Oil. Soak one side of the bearing and spin the race to work the oil in. You can feel the bearing smooth out when the oil has penetrated the outer race. Repeat this step for all bearings. While deep cleaning, water most likely worked its way into the gearboxes and will need to be removed. Disassemble each gearbox and remove old grease. Dry the inside of the box along with the gears and re-grease. Now is a good time to change the oil or grease in the differentials, although it may not be necessary. Now, I removed the oil from all 3 diffs and replaced it with 10,000 weight silicone oil in the front, 7,000 silicone oil in the center diff, and 3,000 weight oil in the rear diff. Now, after cleaning the body with soap and a cloth, reassemble your RedCat Racing Nitro vehicle as it is now ready for another day of fun. Well, this concludes our maintenance segment of the RedCat Racing Pit Stop How-To video series. Check out our other Pit Stop How-To videos brought to you by RedCat Racing. I'm Matt LeMay, reminding you to have fun and don't forget your RedCat.